I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well.
So hey guys, this is my review of Candyman. This will be a spoiler review, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you stop the video right here, go see the movie, then come back and watch the video. Alright, so Candyman. Now this is either the fourth or this is the fourth film in the franchise. This is not a remake, so for anybody that was thinking this is a remake, it's not. Now, this particular iteration of Candyman is a little bit different than what you're used to, but it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. So this movie follows Anthony, or Yahya Abdul-Mateen. He is best known as Black Manta in the Aquaman movie. Now, his character is interesting. He's an artist, so that is a callback to the original Candyman, who was also an artist. And there are a lot of callbacks in this movie to the original Candyman film, which was a pleasant surprise. They do change a bit of the Candyman lore, in which they are basically saying that Candyman is not a singular individual, but rather almost like a curse that happens when some black man is done wrong by white folks in a particularly gruesome manner. There's like a Candyman for each age, essentially, or generation. Now, I thought that was interesting, but the way that Candyman is portrayed, at least for most of the film, I could have done without. The Candyman that I grew up with is this menacing, ominous figure. He exudes terror and strength at the same time, whereas this Candyman is essentially a mentally disabled individual that you see through most of the film, and I wasn't really with that. Now, that being said, there is one thing that I do have to talk about, and that is the hyper messaging in this movie. I mean, the message is on full display. In the first 20 minutes, you are hit with police brutality, white supremacy, gentrification, and other assorted buzzwords multiple times. It's very heavy-handed. And honestly, it took me out of the story many times when I was really getting into the lore and what was going on. It just yanks you right out of the story when they literally will stop and take, however long to discuss the problems of gentrification. It's rough. That being said, it's not unenjoyable. Like, you can definitely enjoy what's going on in the movie. It's just that, being that I've seen the original Candyman and that kind of messaging is in it, but in a subtle manner, not in a club over the head type of way, it's definitely a downgrade to me. That being said, I did enjoy the kills. They were fun, but they were really obvious. Like, you knew when Candyman was going to come, so it took all the horror elements out. Because, what makes a horror movie fun is not knowing when the monster or when the killer is going to show up. But the way that they're framed in this movie, you definitely know when Candyman is coming. And I think that hurt the film. But the story and the premise are solid. I just wish that they would have focused on that rather than the message. But, can't win them all. Would I recommend this movie? Yes and no. I wouldn't say, if I was going to recommend a horror movie for a person to watch, I wouldn't say definitely go watch Candyman. What I did find interesting was they were trying to go with different side stories. In particular, the young lady that played Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, Tiana Paris. There's a side story with her and her upbringing that kind of could have been left out in a way, because it doesn't really serve very much of a purpose to the overall narrative. And the movie is really lean. Like, it's only like an hour and a half, and yet those parts seemed really unnecessary. Also, her brother, the character, he is played like, you know, he's played almost like the gay guy in Low Down Dirty Shame. Like, he's really stereotypical, and it's kind of irritating, you know, because we've seen homosexual characters portrayed with a little bit more realism, and this character just comes off like a cartoon the entire movie from start to finish. He's just this cartoon. Other than that, I mean, it's not a bad film. It's just those things that kind of take you out of what would otherwise be a really entertaining movie. So if I had to give it a grade, I would put it at right at about a 6, maybe a 6.5. But as a successor to Candyman, I mean, it could have been worse, but it also could have been much, much better. So, I mean, guys, let me know what you think about Candyman in the comments. Whether you think, you know, I'm just off base or being really critical of it, or you think, you know, maybe I have a point. I don't know. You know, remember to like, comment on the video, subscribe if you like the content. Watch our other videos, because we make a bunch of other content, whether that be for games, movies, television shows, all types of content. So, you know, if there's something for you on the channel, I guarantee you. All right, man. Well, that's it. 8-Bit Heroes out. Peace.